All right, y'all. I'm Tom, the used car dealer. I got a funny one for you today. Today, we're going to talk about the top 5 lame ass excuses I've gotten from my buy here, pay here customers after I repoed their cars. Now, let me say, in general, our car lot customers are great folks. The buy here, pay here people, most everybody pays on time. But every once in a while, when somebody gets repoed, it's pretty common that it's not their fault. It's someone else's fault. Some of them get very quiet and still won't talk to you. Some call immediately with an excuse. Some call and MF you. But today, I'm going to give you the top 5 that people gave me that honestly made me chuckle. All right, I'm actually starting with my buddy Derek. Now, Derek was a car lot customer. He financed a Chevy Trailblazer from me, put his down payment down, and drove off. And a week later, the first payment was due, or the TTNL was due 2 weeks later. I don't remember the specifics, but he calls me up. Now he's number 5 because he didn't get repoed. He just had a stupid ass question at the beginning of a new relationship. He calls up, "Hi, Mr. Griffin. This is Derek. I want to loan my sister some money. So would it be okay if I paid you a week later or whatever exactly the time period was?" Man, I went off like a bottle rocket. I had to really lay into him about this is a new relationship and this is all I know about you and blah, blah, blah. So he ended up figuring something else out, made his payment on time. And then he made every other payment on time. I think maybe once he was going to be late, but he called before he was late and and asked for an extension, which I was graciously enough to give because if somebody contacts you, they're not going to be the problem. Now, the funny thing about Derek, and I laugh about it now, I'm still in touch with the guy. He's brought a friend or two in to buy cars from me. He's looked at some of the other cars that I've had for sale. He calls me when he finds a good deal. He'll forward me the message in case I'm interested. So, solid dude, and we're still in touch. But my number 5, make me chuckle, is right out of the gate, you wanted to extend your payment to help somebody else. All right. Number 4 is it could be number 5 to 100. Honestly, number 4 is the old adage excuse. I was going to call you, and basically, when you have a buy here pay here car lot, you start dialing for dollars every day to the people that are behind. And generally, they don't take your call. Generally, they send you to voicemail. Generally, they block you. They just don't communicate with you. Maybe if you're lucky, the first time up, they're going to call you. You're going to call them. They're going to answer. They're going to have an excuse, set a promise date for 2, 3 days, a week later, whatever it is, and then they're not going to keep that, and then they won't talk to you again. And they won't talk to you, and they won't talk to you until you pick up their car, and then they're going to talk to you. And the way I do it in Texas, we're not required to let them take their payments back up. We can call the note full, due in full, which is exactly what I do. And the reason I do it is if you won't communicate with me, that tells me how this relationship's going to go. So I'm not interested. I've never repossessed a car from a person that was working hard and communicated if they had a problem and then kept that commitment. But these people that just dish you, send you the voicemail, they know why you're calling, but yeah, they don't answer. So that's number 4. I was gonna call you. All right, this one's good. This one is a common excuse, but the situation behind it was frustrating. So I had sold a Honda Accord to a gentleman, and he financed it and made a payment or two, I want to say. and then quit paying. And I called him. I got him, I think, once or twice on the phone. And yeah, he's going to have money on X day and he'll take care of me and this and that. Well, X day came, no money. Okay. Well, we track these cars with a GPS. So, yeah, I drove to the house, which was not his address that he had recorded. And I took my extra key. I got in the car and I drove back to my shop. Now, bear in mind, he had not been communicating with me. But you know what is amazing? Is I got about 10 calls in a row that I let go to voicemail about, did you get my car? Blah, 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 and text messages. And then the one that made me laugh the most was, I didn't sign anything that says you can put a tracker on my car. I want to see that. I'm going to sue you. Well, I told him that it was in the paperwork that he signed. He should check his copy. Well, he'd already misplaced his copy. So I highlighted the effective sections and I scanned it and sent it to him. Meanwhile, between my wife and I, we miscommunicated about contacting that city's police department to tell them that we repossessed the car. So I waited the number of days it took. He jumped over my fence, got all his personal property out of the vehicle, which I would have been more than willing to give him during operating hours, and left. Okay. So after the 10 days that I had to wait were up, I put the car up for sale. A nice little old lady and her husband came to look at it, and they got the VIN number, and they were going to run a Carfax because they're older people and they like Carfax, even though it was a 20-year-old Honda Accord. And the little old lady comes in and goes, "We ran your Carfax and it says it's stolen." Stolen? Yeah. Okay. What city? Okay. So I called the police department. I got the detective. He's like, "Yeah, I took the report over the phone. Um, Apparently your repo agent didn't call in the repo." And I go, "Well, I'll be honest with you. I was the repo agent. And my wife and I both thought the other person contacted y'all." He goes, "Oh, that's no problem. I can take it out." Because I was suspect of this one. The guy was kind of a jerk. He reported it over the phone, but then he didn't come in to sign the form that said it was stolen. Because if you sign that and it's not stolen, it's a felony. It says, "I'll take this out of the computer right now. You're good to go." So the police officer took it out of the computer. I was able to sell the car to a little old lady and her husband the next day. But this guy was one of the most militant, "it's not my fault, it's your fault" personalities. I didn't give him enough time to come up with the money, even though he'd made a commitment or two and broke it. It was my fault that he got repossessed and that his car wasn't where he said it was going to be. And I was the biggest a-hole in the world. Hey guys, just wanted to take a second to tell you thank you for watching my video. And of course, now it's time for the shameless plug where I ask you to give me a like, a subscribe, and a comment about my video. I recently found out when looking at my YouTube information that only about 5% of my people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. And I think I know why. I mean, generally you YouTube or you Google search the question that you have, usually about car titles, and then it shows you my video. You get the information you need and you move on. That's all well and good. But if you could take a minute and just hit that subscribe button, maybe leave me a comment below. Hey, where did you find this video? Did you find this video looking on YouTube? Did you Google me to find this video? Are you a returned subscriber who likes to look at my content? I'd really like to know where my people are sourcing my videos from. And if you could give a like and a subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. There's a playlist with plenty of other videos, behind the scenes videos, Texas title issue videos, and of course the walk around videos for the cars that we actually sell. Believe it or not, we really generally are a used car dealer, not a YouTuber. But if you could do those things for me, I would sincerely appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and now we'll get you back to your video. Thanks again. All right, I remember this one too. This was I want to say 03 or 4 7 Series BMW. And it had a tracker in it, as most do. And I sold it to a gentleman, and I'll use the term loosely. He put down the deposit money, drove off with the car, and then left for Oklahoma. That's another state. Some repo companies don't work across county state lines. Some do. My repo man, this old guy that I loved, sold his repo business, which was really like 2 trucks and 2 guys, to his son. And his son, a nice guy, was not his dad. He did not want to be in the repo business. So there was not as much ambition as the old man. Anyway, the car is in Oklahoma. We have a tracker. We know where it's at. And he's basically saying, yeah, wait till he comes into the Metroplex and we'll get it then. So it was 3 or 4 months that this guy had this car. And he comes back into Texas, and he comes into the Metroplex, which is what we call the area between like Dallas and Fort Worth. The repo guy gets in the truck, plans to go intercept, follows him to Louisiana and back. The guy never gets out of the car. So the repo guy peels off to do something else. Well, now the repo guy's kind of mad that he drove all that distance, burned all that diesel fuel. So he goes up to Oklahoma, and he's just going to snatch it. So he snatches it. And generally what these guys will do is they'll put the truck on the hook, they'll lift it up, they have possession, they will go knock on the door of the person and say, hey, I'm here to repossess your vehicle. If you would like to give me your key, you're welcome to get your personal items out of the car. If you don't want to turn over the key to me, you'll be able to pick up your items at the dealer's property. So why they do that, apparently in Texas, if the guy gives you the key, that is a voluntary repossession, and you no longer have that 10-day waiting period. I always waited just in case people wanted to come up with money. But not only does it avoid the 10-day wait, some of these keys are stupid money, like $200, $300, $400. And honestly, most of the customers, they want that because they just want to get their stuff. They don't want to have to come back down and face me. And yeah, but anyway, while the guy is pulling out his items, this is why he is number 2 on my list. While the guy is pulling his items out, he tells the repo driver that he didn't pay me because this car was the biggest POS and he never got to drive the car. Okay? He never got to drive the car. Now, remember the story at the beginning of this was how he had gone to Oklahoma where he lived, drove to the Metroplex, drove to Louisiana, drove back. When we got the car back here, in that about 4 months that gentleman had that BMW, he racked up 20,000 miles on it. So how big of a POS could this car be that he's racked up 20,000 miles in 4 months? So yeah, 7 Series BMW, you were number 2. All right. This one's going to be honorable mention because she actually just didn't say anything. I had a good customer. I think they had bought 2 vehicles from me, maybe 3 because their son also bought one. And the fella recommended his sister-in-law come see me. Well, mom was going to put down the down payment money for the non-achieving sister. So she did. It was a Nissan Xterra. And we had to wait on the title. Mom gave me a deposit. I had done a bonded title on it. And after I got the title, mom and the daughter, who was an adult, probably 35 or 40 years old, came in. They did the paperwork. Mom gave me my down payment. The daughter left with the vehicle. And she paid for a few months, and then she stopped. And then she didn't communicate. And she didn't communicate. And she didn't communicate. And I kept checking the tracker, and it's always in her garage. And the repo guy even said, yeah, she's got it hid in her garage. This went on for a couple of months. If she left really close to her house, straight back, hid the car, wouldn't return my calls. The brother was embarrassed. Um, yeah. Anyway, one day I am out at dinner with my wife, and I am really mad that this lady is hiding this car from me. I look on the tracker, and it is not too far, maybe 20 minutes from me at a hotel. So she's got a booty call. So I drive down there, and that car is in fact there, and I had a handful of Nissan keys because, unfortunately, for whatever reason, my extra keys were not labeled. None of my keys fit. So I called the repo guy. Hey, man, she's at this hotel. She's on a booty call, blah, blah, blah. Well, he runs out there and gets the car and brings it to me. And on about the 10th day, the lady shows up with mom and mom's cash and pays to reclaim the car in full. Okay? So you'd think that's the end of the story, but it's not. So this is frustrating to me. So months and months later, I got audited by the state for the finance people, and they come to make sure we're doing everything right, we're treating people right. She finds just at random the folder for this car, sees that it was a repo, and that the lady recovered it. Well, in my folder, I did not have the receipt for the repossession. And I did not have the receipt for my repossession in my folder of monthly bills. So to stay compliant with the state, I had to mail that lady a check back for the repo fee. And that effing check cashed like the next day. So that's honorable mention. It was a Nissan Xterra. She had it for months hidden in the garage. This is just sort of what you go through in the buy here, pay here industry. Okay, this one, although it's sort of like all the others, stuck in my craw, made me laugh to the point where I literally did laugh at the dude, right? So I had a customer, he bought a Ford Explorer, and he paid on it down to like, I don't know, owing like $400 or $500. And then he quit paying. And so I called him, hey bro, what's up? Oh, yeah, that car, that transmission gave out on that car. You can have it back. I'm like, you don't want to fix it? I mean, I own a shop. We can probably get you something pretty cheap, get you a junkyard one from a good vendor or something. No, I already got something else. Oh, okay. Well, I'll send the repo truck, but would you mind just putting the key in the center console? Yeah, no problem. So the customer did that. I mean, he was a good guy. He wasn't a jerk about it. So the repo man went and got it. I got a transmission from the junkyard. I put it in it. I drove it around for a day or two, as I usually do, just to make sure everything's good. Listed it for sale. This young couple, and they're from a city called Terrell. And Terrell sometimes has questionable people. But you know what? Normal people don't buy cars from buy here, pay here dealers. So this couple came, they bought the car, $1,500 down, which basically covered all my costs putting the transmission back in. So now every payment I get from these people is gravy. Put the 15 down, got the car home, tax, title, and license is due like 3 weeks later, I think is how I was doing it. Nothing. No money. Call them, nothing. Not straight to voicemail, but ring, 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 nothing. Okay, so I called twice a day for about a week, and then it was tax, title, and license, and the first payment was due. Ring, 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 nothing. Well, this is a first payment default. We're not jacking around. I call the repo man. Repo man calls me as he normally did if he was doing it during business hours. Hey, just letting you know I got your truck. I'll be there in a couple hours. Okay, thanks. No sooner do I hang up from the repo man, the dude is calling me. Hey man, you got my truck? Yes, sir, we did. Okay, well, what do I gotta do to get it back? So I looked up the balance and it was, $2,500 or something. He goes, no. Just how many payments do I have to make to get it back? I said, well, you defaulted. So now it's due in full. He goes, I called you every day for the last week except Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, well, my phone was broke. I couldn't call you. I'm like, dude, I just started laughing. Like, did you go to work? He goes, yeah, I've gone to work. I go, so let me understand this. In the 10 days I was calling you, your phone was broke. You couldn't use your girl's phone to make a call, couldn't use a pay phone, couldn't use your work phone, couldn't call your mama's phone. No, dude, if you wanted to talk to me, you would have talked to me. That's some bullshit right there. I'm done. So I kept the car. Now I'm like 1,500 ahead. They never reclaimed it, and then we sold it for like 3,000 or something cash. So yeah, that's the story. That is some of the excitement you get from buy here, pay here. I enjoy it. I love it. I am happy as heck to be a used car dealer. And we've got another video coming out before too long that's going to be about why the buy here, pay here interest is so high. And you're going to watch this video and you're going to find out that we are not the dirt bags people think we are. But that's enough for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you got a second, leave me a comment down below. If you're in the industry, maybe tell me something one of your people did. It is what it is. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.